Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cardano welcoming you to another Stone Cold Hockey Tournament qualification. We have the Minnesota Wild now, the 4 teams involved, because the first 7 seasons I have of Stone Cold Hockey don't have the Minnesota Wild in it, because Minnesota only came in 2000, so they don't have a team in 65, 68, 71, 75, 84, 91, or 94. Now, of course, you'd be thinking, wait, Minnesota was in like 91 and 94, or 75. Yes, they were, but that's the Minnesota North Stars. We're talking about the Minnesota Wild. So, just like Columbus, you know, they were a newer franchise, so they get the 4 teams. The 2012 team gets a 23 team, and the 22 team versus the 06 squad. I don't think we're going to have any goaltending controversies, but we'll see. Game 1 of the semifinal. The 23 squad winning 4-2 as Marc-Andre Fleury beats Nicola Backstrom. The 23 squad had Kaprizov, Marcus Johansson, Kaprizov, and Ben Duhaime scoring for Minnesota. The 2012 squad, Nick Johnson and Matt Cullen were the goal scorers. Meanwhile, the other semifinal, the 22 squad with the shutout win as Cam Talbot with the shutout over Manny Fernandez. Kaprizov with 2 goals, Kevin Fiala and Matt Boldy with the other ones. Not Baldy, Boldy. Game 2 sees the 22 squad wins 7-1 as Fleury beats Fernandez. The 06 squad almost got shut out back-to-back games, but Brian Rolston stopped that from happening. But Kaprizov his third, Fiala with 2 goals for 3, Marcus Foligno scored, Eriksson Ek, and Ryan Hartman with 2. And the 23 squad wins in overtime. They're up 2-0. Fleury beats Harding. So they were down 2-0. Pierre-Marc Bouchard and Danny Heatley has scored, but the 23 squad, 8 seconds left on the power play. Johnson was in the box. Boldy from Eriksson Ek after Kaprizov scored, and then Matt Dumba in overtime for Boldy. So a pair of 2-0s. Game 3 sees the 23 squad win the shutout 6-0. Gustafsson with the shutout over Josh Harding. 6 different Wild: Hartman, Kaprizov, Duhaime, Marcus Foligno, Spurgeon, and Eriksson Ek. The 22 squad in the meantime won their game 5-3, so we might have a 22 versus 23 matchup. Fleury beats Fernandez. The 06 squad started off first, Brian Wilson with 2 goals, and then Pierre-Marc Bouchard. But the 22 squad, Zuccarello, Hartman, Zuccarello, Boldy, and then Boldy with the winning goal. The 22 squad lost 3-2 as Fernandez beats Fleury, so the 06 squad wins. Gaborik, Todd White, and then Gaborik again. The 22 squad, Eriksson Ek and Kaprizov. In the meantime, the 23 squad with the sweep, Fleury beat Backstrom. 12 had Heatley, Koivu, and Johnson scored, but the 23 squad, Eriksson Ek, Boldy, Zuccarello, Sundqvist, and Sam Steele with the winning goal. 22 Minnesota wins 4-2 as Talbot beats Fernandez. The 06 squad, Todd White and Pierre-Marc Bouchard scoring. 22 squad, Boldy, Goudreau, Kaprizov, and Gogolski. So it is going to be 22 versus 23, so we don't know which one it will be. From the 20s, now we might have goalie versus goalie controversy. Well, 23 squad won on a goal by Marcus Johansson from Sam Steele and Jonas Brodin, 1-0. Game 2 sees 23 squad win 1-0 again as Gustafsson was in net against Fleury. Duhaime scored from Spurgeon and Boldy, so 6 straight periods to 22 squad can't score a goal. The 22 squad wins 5-4. Talbot beats Fleury, so there was a goalie move. The 22 squad had goals from Goudreau, Spurgeon, Hartman, Kulikov, and Fiala. The 23 squad goes by Gustav Nyquist, Ryan Reeves, Freddie Goudreau, and Cam Addison. Game 4 sees the 22 squad wins 6-3, so they tie up that series. Fleury beats Gustafsson. 23 had Eriksson Ek, and then Kaprizov scoring. The 22 squad, Kaprizov, Merrill, Zuccarello, Fiala, Kaprizov. So 7 goals for Kaprizov for the 22 squad. Series tied 2-2. The 22 squad 8-1 as Talbot beats Fleury. 23 had a goal by Ryan Hartman. Eriksson Ek, Fiala, Kaprizov, Kulikov, Just, Boldy, Dumba, Zuccarello. 8 different members of the team. The 23 squad wins game 6. Gustafsson beats Talbot. 22 had Zuccarello scored, but too late. Sundqvist with 1, Hartman with 2, Kaprizov with 1. And game 7 sees the 22 squad move on with a 7-3 win as Talbot beats Fleury. 22 squad, Hartman, Kaprizov, Hartman with the hat trick, Spurgeon, Goodrow, and Boldy doing their job. Kaprizov scored 9 goals for the 23 squad. So the 22 squad wins. Cam Talbot 5-1. Marc-Andre Fleury was useless, but Cam Talbot wasn't. Kaprizov with 17 points, Fiala with 16, Eriksson Ek with 11. So that Minnesota team looks like it, 53 wins. I don't know how they did in the playoffs, so I have to take a quick look at how the 2022 Minnesota Wild did. They were second in the West. They lost in the first round to the St. Louis Blues. Okay, so we know the next team involved will be the St. Louis Blues. So we'll go to St. Louis for the next video, for the next matchup. Okay, do playoffs. Take those 2 off. Get my keyboard. So every St. Louis Blue team, and there will be 10 of them, will be in this thing. Including the 83-84 team that almost went to Saskatoon. The Brent Hall team from 91. The 68 team that went to the finals, 94. I think they lost to Dallas in the first round. That's right. 06 St. Louis. They had the #1 overall pick that year. 2012. 22. When they went to the Stanley Cup semifinals at 23. Right there. Alright. Create. Preliminary round and all that. So 6 of the 10 Blues teams will go to the quarterfinals, and then we'll have 2 preliminary round matches. It's the 71 squad versus the 12 squad, and the 75 squad versus the 06 squad. Alright, fair enough. Game 1 of the 71-12. 2012 wins 3-2. Halak beats Glenn Hall, who was still playing for St. Louis at that time. I thought he retired. 2012, 3 straight goals by TJ Yoshi, Chris Stewart, and Matt D'Agostini. Christian Bordelot and Frank St. Marsaio for the 71 squad. On the other side, the 75 squad wins in overtime. John Davidson, before he was a Ranger, beat Patty Lalime. 75 Blues, Pierre Plante, Bob Gassoff, and Wayne Merrick in regulation. The 06 squad had Scott Young, Christy Backman, and Mark Radcroft doing so. But in overtime at 2:41, it was Gary Unger, the original Ironman. They had a shove from Chuck Lefley. Game 2 saw the 75 squad win 4-0, so they're up 2-0. Eddie Johnston with the shutout over Patty Lalime. Palestini, Collins, and then 2 goals by Unger doing his job. 2012 team wins again in overtime, 3-2. Brian Elliott beats Ernie Wakely. The 71 squad, Nolan Picard and Frank St. Marsaio. 2012 squad, Floyd Subotka and David Backus. And in overtime at 4:45 was Andy McDonald from Jason Arnott and Jaden Schwartz. So we have a pair of 2-0s. Make it 3-0. 2012 squad wins 2-1. Brian Elliott beats Wakely. Gary Unger scored for the 71 squad, but 2 goals from the other guys. Brian Reeves, he played for that team, okay, and Patrick Berglund. Meanwhile, the 35 squad's now up 3-0 in their series to make the quarterfinals. Johnston beats Lalime. 75 squad, Pierre Plante, Red Berenson, and Chuck Leifley. Dallas Drake, coffee cake for the 016. I gotta make sure I get the right goalie. I said Eddie Johnston, right? Yep. Eddie Johnston is the one. Alright. Made the right one. 75 Blues, did they sweep? Yes, they did. 4-3. As Davidson beats Lalim. 75 squad, Palazzi, Leifley, American, Pierre Plante. St. Louis goes 06, Stebniak, Scott Young, and Hogan. Do we have a double sweep? We do have a double sweep. The 2012 squad wins 3-0. Elliott doing the job with the shed over Wakely. Backus, Berkland, and Alex Steen for the 2012 squad. So the 2012 squad will take on the 75 squad. So they decided to have the two wildcard winners face each other. And then the other three matchups will have teams that like 94 versus 68, 84 versus 91, and 23 versus 22. Ooh, that's going to be a series for the ages, 23 versus 22. They have the two youngest face each other by randomization. Game 1 of the 75-12 series sees this 2012 team win 4-2. 5 straight wins for them. Halak beats Davidson. 75 squad had Pierre Plante and Chuck Leifley score. But the Blue 2012, Ryan Reeves, Andy McDonald, Jason Arnott, and McDonald iced it. 90 versus 68, and it was the 68 squad striking first. Glenn Hall beating Cujo. 68 team, Red Berenson and Larry Keenan. Prokhorov for the 94 squad. 84 beats 91, 7-6 in overtime. Liut beats Riendu. 91 team looked comfortable. They were up 4-1 after 2. Brett Hall with 2 goals. Perf Franklin and Ron Wilson scoring. Not the former head coach. That's a different Ron Wilson, I believe. They also scored 2 goals. Brett Hall got 4 goals in that game, and they still lost. The 84 squad, Ron Wilson, Brian Sutter, excuse me, Bernie Federico, Joey Mullen, Duck Wickenheiser, and then in overtime, Wayne Babbage from Guy Chouinard and Sutter at 9:18. And the other game 1 saw the 23 squad win 6-5. Hoffer beats Lindgren, Charlie Lindgren. Colton Pareko with the winning goal in overtime. Game 2s saw the 94 squad win 2-1 in overtime. Jim Harnevik beats Glenn Hall. The 94 squad only goal in regulation by Prokhorov. Terry Crisp, former NHL head coach for the 68 squad, but in overtime, with Bill Picard in the box for hooking, Brandon Shanahan. Winning goal from Kip Miller and Steve Duchesne. I think that's Kip Miller. Anyway, game 2 of the other series, 91 Blues win 4-3. They'll tie it up. Riendu over Liut. The 91 squad, Cavallini, Brett Hall, and Rich Sutter. Yeah, so Brett Hall's got 6 goals in 2 games for that team. The 84 squad, Brian Sutter with 2 and Duck Wickenheiser with the other goal. Yeah, Brett Hall was not a Blue till 1988, if you must know. The 22 squad wins 4-3 as Binghamton beat Binghamton. All that has to be said. And the 2012 squad are now up 2-0. Halak beats Davidson in overtime. The 75 squad had goals by Bill Collins, Wayne Merrick, and Larry Skarak. The 2012 squad, Jason Arnott, Kevin Shattenkirk, and Jason Arnott again. But in overtime at 8:15, it was Yoshi from Huskins and Stewart. Game 3s, 84-91. 91 wins 5-4. Riendu beats Liut. 91 goes Brett Hall, Dan Quinn, Brett Hall again, Brett Hall for the hat-trick, and Adam Oates. So Hall with 9 goals in 3 games. Unbelievable. 84 St. Louis, Rob Ramage. Boo, that guy. Brian Sutter, Jürgen Pedersen, and Joey Mullen. The 23 squad wins 3-1. That one. And it was Grace beating Binghamton. That one. Bushnevich scoring twice for the 23 squad. Did the 12 squad win? The answer is yes, they did. They're up 3-0. Halak beats Johnston. 75 squad had goals by Red Berenson and Bill Collins, but the 2012 squad with 5 goals, Colin Porter, Andy McDonald, Patrick Berglund, Kevin Shattenkirk, and Alex Steen. And the other game 3 sees the 68 squad win in overtime. Hall beats Harnevik. The 94 squad had goals by Philip Busan, Prokhorov, and Brandon Shanahan in regulation. The 68 squad, Bill McCreary. Yeah, not that Bill McCreary. I think it's a different referee. Terry Crisp, Larry Keaton, and in overtime, Tim Ecclestone at 11:26 from McKinney and Roberts. Don McKinney played for that team? Okay. Did the 2012 Blues get the sweep? The answer is yes, they did. 5-3. Halak beats Davidson. The 75 squad, Craig Patrick with 2 goals, Bill Collins with the other. 2012 squad, Backus, Arnett, Oshie, Reeves, and then Oshie again. The 2012 squad, 8-0. They have yet to lose. They don't know how to lose. The 94 squad beats the 68 squad the first, at least in game 6. Cujo beats Seth Martin. 68 squad had goals by Jimmy Roberts, Wayne Rivers, and Frank St. Marcel. The 94 squad, Craig Jennings, Brett Hall finally scoring for the 94 team. Brett Hall again, and then Peter Stastny, no joke. And then on the power play, after Player was in the box, Prokhorov his fourth from Shani and Kovalev. No, Korolev, sorry. I said that wrong. The 91 team is now up 3-1. In the series, Briandu beats Liut. 84 squad, Mark Reed scored. Brett Hall with 2 goals, Dave Lowry with the other. So Hall's got 11 goals in 4 games. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, the 22 team shuts out the 23 team. Husso beats Binghamton for the shutout. And Brendan Saad with a pair of goals. 91 St. Louis, are they in the semifinals? Yes, they are. 7-6 though. Briandu beats Buddy LaRock. Buddy LaRock played for the 84 Blues? Okay. 84 had 6 goals. Joey Mullen with 2. Craig Pulaski, Rob Ramage, Doug Gilmore, yeah, he played for that team, and Bertie Federico. But the 91 squad, Adam Oates, Brett Hall, his 12th, Tom Tilley, Adam Oates, Rich Sutter, and then Brett Hall, his 13th. Man, guy got 13 goals in just 4 games. 5 games. Unbelievable. The goal scoring on this guy. The nerve. The 22 squad is now up 3-2. Husso beats Grace. 22 squad got goals by Shen, O'Reilly, Pareko, Sad, and Bushnevich to win. And the other game 5 saw the 68 squad win 3-2. As Hall beat Cujo. 68 squad, Bill McCreary, Frank St. Marcel. Phil Housley and Brett Hall scored for the 94 squad. Did the 68 Blues go to the semifinals? Nope, we got a game 7. 3-2 your score as Harnevik beats Seth Martin. The 94 squad, Craig Jennings, Steve Duchesne, and Brett Hall with the goals. 68 squad, Frank St. Marcel and Neil Baudin. The 22 Blues are going to move on 4-1. Binghamton beats his double gamer. Who will join the 12, 22, and 91 Blues in the semifinals? The answer is the 94 squad. Cujo beats Glenn Hall. The St. Louis Blues, the 68 team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. But the 94 squad wins. Karmanov, Shenny, Hall, and Kelly Chase. Kelly Chase? He even scored. Frank St. Marcel for the 68 squad, but it doesn't matter. Semifinals. We'll see 22 versus 12 and 91 versus 94. So we'll have a 90s team against a team from the 21st century. 91 versus 94 will have maybe a goalie conflict if Cujo's playing for both teams. Anyway, 12 versus 22, I don't think has any conflict. The 22 squad wins 2-1. Binghamton beats Elliott. The 22 squad, Nick Leddy and Barbashev for goals. Berglund for the 2012 squad. And finally, the 2012 Blues lose the game. Meanwhile, the 91 squad wins 5-2 as Cujo beat himself. Brett Hall now has... Brett Hall, the 91 Blues have a hat trick. He has 16 goals. Unbelievable. Game 2 sees the 94 squad win to even it out. Cujo beat Cujo. The 94 Brett Hall with the hat trick. 91 Brett Hall got shut down. That's why they lost. The 22 squad wins 1-0. Binghamton with the shutout. Ryan O'Reilly from Kailu and Wallman. So yeah, low scoring in that one. The 2012 squad wins in overtime 3-2. Elliott beats Husso. 2012, Alex Steen with 2 goals. Ryan O'Reilly and Barbashev for the 22 squad, but in overtime was Jason Arnett for the 2012 squad from Kolyakovo and Shattenkirk, his 5th. The 91 squad wins 6-3. Ryandu beats Harnavik, so Cujo got the rest period he needed. 91 squad, Featherstone, Brett Hall, not 1, not 2, but 4 goals against the 94 squad in Harnavik. So he's got 20 goals. Unprecedented. And how many games have these guys played? He's played 8. Unprecedented. Well, by the way, her catch, Steve Duchesne and Brandon Shanahan from the 94 squad. 91, the 2 goals that were not Brett Hall's were Glenn Featherstone's and Jeff Brown's, defenseman. Game 4 sees the 91 squad win 3-1, as that Brett Hall does not score a goal. It was Rich Sutter, Dave Lowry, and Rod Brandenburg doing the job. Cujo v. Cujo. The 94 Brett Hall with his 10th. And the 22 squad is now up 3-1, sorry. Binghamton beats Elliott. 2012, Bacchus, Berglund, and Bacchus again. But the 22 squad, Barbara Ship, Robert Thomas, David Perron, and Pavel Buchnevich. Does the 22 squad win Game 5? Yes, they do. 2-1. As Binghamton beat Halak. Brendan Satt and Jordan Kyrou with the goals. Peter Angelo for the 2012 squad, but that does not matter. So the 22 squad that went to the Stanley Cup semifinals. Oh no, was it the second round? It was the second round because, yeah, that's right. Edmonton went to the Stanley Cup semifinals in 22 and failed. It will be the 91 squad 3-2 as Cujo beat himself. Brett Hall his 21st for the 91 squad. So you have the 91 Blues who actually had to come back from 3-1 down in the first round to the Red Wings to go to the division finals, but were mincemeat for the Cinderella North Stars. Taking on the 2022 Blues who got beaten in the second round by the Avalanche. I think in game 6 or 7, I can't remember. But anyway, 91 versus 22. If the 91 Blues win, then the leadoff for video 5 will be the Minnesota / Dallas North Stars. Well, the Stars team. If the 22 Blues win, then we'll take a look at Quebec / Colorado in the next video, the next tournament. That's what you'll see. All right, game 1. See if the 22 squad win 5-3 as Husso beats Ryandu. 22 squad Shen, Tarasenko, Buchnevich, Shen, and Tarasenko. The 91 Brett Hall with 2 of those 3 goals with Bob Bass in the other one. Oh yeah, I forgot to check the thingies. The 22 squad Binghamton 6-1, Husso 3-1, Charlie Lindgren 1 game, he's 0-1, 6 and then 5. Ryan O'Reilly 16 points, Jordan Kyrou 15, Tarasenko's got 10. Meanwhile, the 91 squad, Ryandu 5-2, Cujo 3-1. Keep him in. Pair of 5 game wins. Brett Hall has 26 points. Brett Adol's 18, Jeff Brown 11. Hall has 23 goals. Look up. Second place has 4. So, I don't know how many goals. Let's see. Well, it says 14 assists, but let's take a look at the goals. Yeah, Brett Hall has 23. Let's see. 4, 8, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 25. So, Brett Hall scored 23 goals for the 91 Blues in this season. 25 goals by other players. He scored 23 by himself, 25 by other players. Meanwhile, the 91 team splits it 4-3, and that Brett Hall got 2 of the 4 goals. Bassett and Cavallini with the other ones. But the 22 squad, Perico, Barbashev, and Shen. Yeah, the 91 squad. Brett Hall's got 25 goals. Unbelievable. The 22 team wins in overtime. The 91 squad, Jeff Brown and Brett Hall. Well, Brett Hall does it again. It was 26. 22 squad, Brady Chen, Riley Riley, and in overtime with Harold Steps in the box. Jordan Kyrou from Tarasenko and Buchnevich. The 22 team wins again in overtime. Husso beats Jablonski. 91 squad didn't score with Brett Hall. Bassett and Ron Wilson. Walker, Robert Thomas scored for the 22 squad, but in overtime at 10:52, it was Barbashev from Tarasenko and Shen. Does the 22 Blues win 5? Nope, they lose 2-1 as Cujo beats Husso Brandon Moore and Lowry from the 91 squad, Kyrie for the 22 squad. So again, that 91 Brett Hall, I wish it was Bret Hart. That's that. And game 6, we have a winner. The 22 winner chicken dinner. The 22 St. Louis Blues, who went to the second round and lost to the Avalanche, are going to be in. That's the 3rd straight time we've had a team from 2022. Husso beats Riandu, the 91 squad. Hall scored, then Brown, Brett Hall had 2 goals for 28, and yet they still lost the whole thing. Krug, Kyrou, and then Torrey Krug, the hero of the tournament. So the 22 St. Louis Blues win. So we will be looking at Quebec/Colorado come next tournament. So it should be fun. It really should be. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.